What's the deal, you guys? What is the deal? What is the deal? This is your boy, Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new review of Married to Medicine, Season 12, Episode 6. What is going on, you guys? I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Monday, and I intend on doing the exact same thing, you guys. What is going on? Now, before we get into it, just in case there's any confusion about what's going on with the panel tonight, the Whether You Like It or Not panel will be over on Josiah's page on tonight. I'll be sharing the link. As a matter of fact, while we're here, I'm gonna go ahead and share the link to tonight's panel on my community wall so y'all can know where to go, honey. Okay, the panel would definitely be over on Josiah's World TV's platform. As we speak, I am sharing the link to my community wall and post. There it is. So the link is right there on my community wall now. So make sure you guys go look at it. Make sure you guys set your reminders and all of that good jazz, okay? Because that's where the panel will be at tonight. All right. I just got done watching the show, of course. Y'all know Married to Medicine reviews come on Mondays. You know, I come home from work, I take me a little nap, a young nap, and I watch the show. And once it's done, I get up and I review the show. So it is what it is. I'm trying to understand something here. I know everybody wants Married to Medicine to be the best show on Bravo, and it's just not to me. It's just not. Like, I'm really trying to see what everybody else is seeing. Because every season I watch Married to Medicine, folks be hyping it up like it's the best thing since sliced bread. And then most of the time it don't even be good. So I'm just trying to understand why everybody be trying to hype this show up. Like, Married to Medicine was once one of the best shows on Bravo, but these past few seasons ain't been that great. And this season really ain't all that to me either. But, you know, it's watchable, but it really ain't all that as everybody try to say that it is. That's just my personal. What else is going on? Well, y'all do know that I got the interview with Keisha Cole's brother, Ellis Elijah Randolph. We'll be going live on Wednesday, and that link is also prepared and it's already ready as well, honey. We're gonna get into the things. We're gonna talk about his life as a closed adoption. We're gonna talk about his life finding his siblings. We're gonna talk about his sibling rivalry with the Elite. We're going to talk about his close-knit brotherhood with Sam. We're going to talk about Keisha. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. So make sure you guys tune in because this boy has had the internet buzzing with his adoption story. And I am so honored that he chose me to be one of the people to sit down with, because I definitely understand where he's coming from. I definitely feel where he's coming from. And I've been where he's at. So shout out to Mr. Elijah Ellis Randolph for giving me that opportunity. Make sure you guys tune in Wednesday for this interview, okay? Make sure you tune in. What else is going on, child? I think that's about all that I have to tell you guys about what's going on up in this bitch. That's the only thing I have to tell y'all. Let me see. What else is going on? Love and Hip Hop coming back next month. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta coming back next month. And y'all know I'm reviewing it. Y'all know it. I'm just waiting on the super trailer to come out. Like, they already put out their first teaser. I'm ready for a super trailer to come out. Y'all know I love me some Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Basketball Wives, I don't know when the fuck that's coming out. But right now, the only shows that we're reviewing here is Married to Medicine, Potomac, and Love and Marriage Huntsville. That's all we got to review because I've been stopped reviewing Love and Hip Hop Miami because it just ain't doing it for me. It's just not. I tried and I tried and I tried, but it just didn't work out for me. It just wasn't working. You feel what I'm saying? But we're gonna go ahead and get into Married to Medicine because we're headed to the 5-minute mark. So let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. Okay. Now, let's open it up with Quad, Heavenly Angel, and Contessa. Now, I guess this was around the time where Quad was getting ready for the news about her eggs and everything else, because, you know, she's on this IVF journey. She wants to have a baby with King. And, you know, everybody that's been watching this show, we all been wondering, okay, Quad wants a baby with King, but does King want a baby with Quad? And my thing is this: it may not even be the fact that it may not be a question of whether or not he wants a baby with Quad per se. It's the question of, does he want a baby at all? That's what a lot of us are trying to figure out. But they started talking about the 15 times a week thing. And listen, Quad, Look. I likes to fuck like everybody else do, but I cannot imagine myself fucking around with somebody 15 times a week. That is a lot, even for me. That is a lot. That is a whole lot. Even for me, that is a whole lot. It's a lot. I must say that is a whole lot. Um uh Contessa starts talking about her experience getting pregnant and stuff like that. And she was talking about how she gained like 70 pounds after she was pregnant. And she says that pregnancy is not a beautiful experience at all. She says, you know, everybody tries to make it seem like pregnancy is oh so beautiful and it's this and it's that, but it's really not giving what the people wanted to give. It's really not that beautiful. It's actually pretty painful, and it's actually pretty much a whole lot that we got to deal with as a woman. You feel what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So Quiet then tells Heavenly, Angel, and Contessa that there are 4 eggs fertilized, and they're just waiting to see if an embryo was going to take any 4 of those eggs. So as I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, Quiet, you know, I know you want to be a mom, and this is very, you know, interesting, but it's very exciting for you per se, because this is what you want. So my hopes and my prayers are going up for you, because I don't know what that's like, you know, because I don't want no kids, and plus I'm not a woman. So I don't know how that is, but I know for a fact I don't want no fucking kids. And people be always saying, you know, well, Scott, are you gonna have any kids? I'll be like, how? And they be like, yeah, you gay, but you can still have kids. No, ma'am, don't want them. I'd rather be the rich uncle. I don't want no kids. But I can understand where she's coming from at the same time, though, because it's like that's something that most women want. Like that's like an American dream for some women. Like they want to have a husband, they want to have a man, they want to have the children and stuff like that. And you know, Qua was married before in her 30s, and she was really married to a man that she really didn't like. So at the end of the day, you know, she married to this man that she really don't like, but in the same breath, you know, he wanted a baby, but she wouldn't give him one. And we all used to feel like, you know, we all used to feel like, well, Quad don't like that man. That's why she won't give him no baby. Because I feel like if she really loved that man, she would have gave him a baby, because she was talking about her career and shit. But what the fuck is she doing with this said career? Does she even have a career now besides married to medicine? I mean, that's a question that I need an answer to. That's just what that is. I just got a question. I got a question that needs an answer. That's all I'm saying. That's all I need to know, okay? But that's just the gist of that shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Let's see. King talks to Cecil and Eugene, and he talks about the trips to Ghana and how it's taking him away from his daughter and his real life. You know, he says that you know, he never really he was out for this whole trip and doing this IVF because he wants to support Quad, but he didn't know how much time this shit was gonna take, and he really don't know how to feel about it. But you know, Cecil and Eugene pretty much say, you know, it's a time and a place to have these type of conversations with your wife. You know, you really don't want to do it right now, so it may not be the best time. And you know, you can look up in King's face whenever he talks about this whole IVF journey. You can tell that this is something that really wasn't on his bingo card, and you can tell that this was something that he really didn't want to do at all, but he's only doing it because that's something that Quad wants to do. And I'm not really mad at him for just trying to make her happy, but I just feel like in life, if this is something that you don't want to do, and this is something that you're really not that connected to, then you know what I mean? It's kind of like, well, don't do it. You feel what I'm saying? But he didn't know that it was going to be so much money that they had to spend to do all that, and his pockets is probably feeling the pain. So that's probably one of the other reasons why he really not for it no more. So then Contessa and Heavenly feels in Quad on the Toya drama, and you know, Heavenly says, you know, Heavenly says that Toya always be saying some dumbass shit all the time. She always, you know, running her mouth about shit all the time, and that's why they got into it. And then that is when Angel says that Heavenly is full of shit. You feel what I'm saying? Which I've been saying that Heavenly is full of shit. Like, Heavenly been full of shit for, for the longest. Like, we all been saying that because we really don't know anything about Heavenly's personal life. We don't really know that much about her family. We know that her mama really wasn't the best mama to her, and we know they didn't have the best relationship. That's what we do know. But other than that, we don't really know nothing else. That's the only thing that I can say. But now it seems like, starting with this episode, she is starting to, show more of her life. But it's funny because she's doing that now that she's just a friend of the show. Ain't that odd? But then, let's see. So then they say that Simone looks up stuff. And they be like, she be looking up stuff. And that's when Heavenly said that Simone looked up Quad's car. This is why I say that Simone is whack as fuck, and Simone is probably the sneakiest out of all these women on this show. And I feel like Simone be doing the absolute most when it come down to these women on this show. She really, really do, and I can't stand it. And you want to know why I can't stand it? Because Simone be priding herself on being such this great friend, and she be doing all of this shit for everybody in the group. But then come to find out she's a fraud, because why are you looking up that girl's car and looking up VIN numbers and all that other stuff? Like, what's it to you? You feel what I'm saying? Like, what's it? That's the part I'm trying to understand. What's it to you? Why the fuck you feel like you got to be looking up her car and trying to see if it's really hers and shit like that? Like, these women in Married to Medicine, they want to act like they're true friends and that they're real friends and all this other stuff, but they're really not friends like that. They're not friends like that at all. I'm trying to understand where the friendship comes in there, because with friends like that, like, who needs enemies if you got friends like these? I'm just saying. And then you gonna tell Heavenly, knowing that Heavenly was gonna go back and tell Quad what the fuck you was doing. But if anybody did that to Simone, we would have to hear her loud ass vodka-filled mouth about what somebody did to her. That'd be the shit that I be talking about. That's crazy to me. Like, real crazy. But anyway, anyhow, we're going to move on to Stevie and Mimi. Now, what we're seeing with Stevie and Mimi is the complications and the struggles of dealing with a child that's special needs, which I feel like is a very unique story to tell, because we really don't get to see that type of story be told on TV like that. And as a 36-year-old male, I've always wondered, what do parents go through dealing with the special needs kid? We all grow up ignorant, and we don't really know much about special needs kids. All we know is that, they're not like everybody else. Like, when we grow up with kids like that, all we know is that they make crazy noises. They don't really talk. They're kind of loud. They throw stuff at times. We don't really understand, and they don't understand what they're going through. So I can only, now I'm looking at it as I've gotten older and become more grown, and I'm looking at, a lot of the times where I'm at a grocery store or when I'm at the mall or something, and I see a parent and it's obvious that their child has special needs, and I see how they react to when they make noise or when they become loud or defensive or whatever, and I see how calm they are. And I'll be looking at them and I'm like, that's something that they have been accustomed to. That's something that they're used to, because a person like me will probably not have that much patience. They got the patience because they know how to deal with it. My dumb ass wouldn't know how to deal with no shit like that. So I feel like special needs parents are very strong when it all boils down to the shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, they are very strong people at the end of the day. You got to be a strong person to have to raise a child that has special needs. And there's a lot to come with that. Like, you got to give them extra care, extra nurturing, extra this, extra that. And I know that that can be hard. Like, just watching Stevie and Mimi going through the stuff that they're going through with their son, and to the point to where their daughter has to have a break from him, from her brother who's special needs, because she has to take on a part of the responsibility. So she needs the break as a 7-year-old. That's a lot for a 7-year-old too. She don't know what to do. She ain't a parent. So I appreciate this story. I really do appreciate this story. I never thought that I didn't know that I was going to appreciate it so much, but I do appreciate this story because it's Excuse me, because it's something new. It's not some of the same shit. Like, it's not about troubled teens, or it's not about IVF, or it's not about I'm going through a divorce, or it's not about, oh, you cheated on me. Like, it's not one of those things that we constantly see on reality television on ensemble cast. This is something that we really don't see nobody tell no story about. And I'm not saying that we never seen a story on reality TV about special needs kids, because of course Real Housewives of New Jersey, Jacqueline Lil Rita was talking about her son Nicholas and how he was autistic. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't really watch New Jersey that much to really dive into a story. But I will say that me watching Married to Medicine and being a little bit invested in the show, because I'm not as invested in Married to Medicine as I am the Housewives, but watching this show the way that I'm watching it now so I can review it, and just watching this storyline play out with Steve and Mimi, I think that it's very transparent, and I think that it's good that they're telling this story, because there's a lot of people out there that may be dealing with the same thing that they're dealing with, and they probably don't really know how to deal with it. So they're watching this show and they see other people dealing with the situation. So shout out to Mimi and Stevie for just keeping it a book and keeping it 100 and just showing the people, you know what I mean? Like, we just like you, like, we dealing with this shit too. We're trying to figure out how to deal with it as well. You feel what I'm saying? So I get it. I definitely get it, and I understand. And I'm very, very, very appreciative of this story. And I love how they're supportive of one another with this situation. We get into Heavenly. She's at this restaurant. She's sitting there waiting for somebody, of course. And we can see that there's a man that's walking up. And Heavenly says, I'm here to meet my brother. Okay, so she got a brother by the name of Travis. That's her half brother on her father's side. And as they're sitting there talking, she learns how old he is. And when he tells her how old he is, she realizes that Travis was conceived while her parents were married. So at the end of the day, Heavenly's father cheated on her mama and got Travis. And she says, you know, I never would have thought that my father would have outside kids because of the way that he conducted himself, because of the way that he, you know, presented himself to the people. You know, nobody would ever think that my dad was that type of person. Nobody would ever think that my dad would have outside kids. Nobody would ever think that, you know, my dad would be dealing with this and dealing with that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, of course not. So I get what's being said. I understand and stuff like that. So it's definitely understood. I get what you're saying, honey. I definitely do. So yeah, you have a certain perception of your parents, and then when they do something that's very not perfect, then you don't know how to look at them no more. Travis talks about his experience with his father. He said that he knew his dad, not like that, but he knew him. Then she reveals that her son was arrested recently, and he got arrested and left and never came back, and they ain't seen him since. And Travis is pretty much going through the same thing. His son, he didn't say that his son was arrested, but he did say that his son disappeared, and he don't know where he's at. So Heavenly says that Heavenly wants to meet Travis's family, and Travis is down for meeting, you know, having Heavenly meet his family and stuff like that. And I think that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, when you find out you got other brothers and sisters, it's a blessing to know that you got that, regardless of how they came into the world. You feel what I'm saying? And I know that sometimes when you find brothers and sisters later in life, it's kind of difficult to have a relationship with them because you didn't grow up with them. It's even difficult when you don't, like, it's difficult, period, when you don't grow up with a sibling. And that's the reason why I constantly have issues with my siblings, because we didn't grow up together. So we really didn't know each other, and try to forge a relationship as adults is alive. So yeah, we're trying, you know, they got to figure it out. But I am very much so happy to see Heavenly in this element. Like, we get to see more of her story that we didn't know. So shout out to Heavenly and shout out to Travis. I want to see more of this. That's all I can say. I want to see more of this. Now, Heavenly's throwing a family reunion, and one of the things that's going to happen at the family reunion is a mac and cheese cook-off. So we got Toya and her boys in the kitchen, and they know how to cook mac and cheese. But my 36-year-old ass can't cook a lick. I can cook a fire-ass hamburger. I can cook a burger, and I can cook you some fire-ass tacos. If you want some good-ass tacos, I'm your guy. But that's all I know how to cook. I'm still learning though. Y'all gotta give me some grace and some time. I'm still learning. But I think that was fun to watch, Toya and her children in the kitchen, and it's crazy that them little teenagers know how to cook some good mac and cheese. So Simone and Cecil is in the kitchen cooking their mac and cheese, and Simone starts telling Cecil that she doesn't feel appreciated by him and the boys. And they have a pretty decent conversation. They talk about said situation, and it seems like they come into a common ground about this conversation. I do feel like when your mate does not feel appreciated, you need to take the steps to make them feel appreciated. You feel what I'm saying? Like, nobody wants to be in a relationship, or no one wants to be in a marriage where they don't feel wanted or where they don't feel like they're needed. Sometimes you want to feel like you're needed. Sometimes you want to feel like, you're supposed to be around. Sometimes you want to feel like I'm here. They want me to be here. Sometimes people don't feel like they need to be here because of the shit that that is made out to be. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it and I understand it. Like, I totally get it. Like, they probably don't feel like they're needed, honestly. And so she basically tells Cecil that because all she wants is appreciation. And let me tell y'all something about me when I'm in a relationship. I do a lot. I'm very accommodating. I'm caring. I'm helpful. I pick up the slack if you can't pick up the slack. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just that type of guy. So when I do all that extra shit for you and I don't feel appreciated, bitch, you gonna know. That's when Gunica comes out. Bando can tell y'all about Gunica. Okay? That's when Gunica comes out, baby, because I love love. I love romance, and I love to, show my man appreciation. And I love to show my man that I love my man, my baby, my baby. So, when I don't feel appreciated, that's a problem, bitch. Because look, if I'm doing all this shit for you and you not showing me shit back, baby, this is a problem. We're gonna have to fix this. I ain't saying you gotta get on your knees and do all this weird shit for me. I ain't saying all that. But look, if I'm doing everything under the book and I'm checking all the boxes, baby, show me something. Show me that you appreciate what you got. That's all people want to know, is that you appreciate them and what you have with them. Simone wants to be appreciated. She wants to be appreciated as a wife. She wants to be appreciated as a mom. Simone does a lot for her husband. Simone does a lot for her sons. She do. And there is nothing wrong with feeling that way. Cecil says that he's not the type of person that's just going to agree with everything that you say. Simone says that would be nice if you did. But at the same time, Simone, it's one thing to have your back in certain situations. But Cecil doesn't have to agree with every little thing that you say, because it goes against his principles and it goes against what the fuck he thinks. In a marriage or a relationship, you still got to have your own mind. So regardless of the fact that I think that at times Cecil gives off the characteristics of a pussy ass nigga, because he do, I ain't gonna take that from him. He do give off the characteristics of a pussy ass nigga. I'm not gonna sit here and act like he don't, because he do. But yeah, at the end of the day, he does have a right to have a mind of his own, Simone. He do. And you can't really be mad that he got a mind of his own, Simone. Why you mad, Simone? I don't understand, Simone, why he can't have a mind of his own. That's all I'm saying. Let him have that. Let him see that. Let him see that you give a fuck. But Cecil also has to realize that whether you agree or not, just stand as a united front and support her. Because that's really all that she's looking for, is some support and appreciation. Because their youngest boy is not appreciative of anything. He acts like a disrespectful little bastard, is what he acted like. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck if my mama got money. I'm not the type of kid that would drain my mama for anything. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the type of kid that was going to drain my mama. I was probably the only kid that didn't ask my mama for nothing. Now, my sister, she always had her goddamn hand out, but I will go without. To the point where my mama would be mad that I wouldn't ask her for a pair of shoes. My mama would be mad that I'm still wearing them same outfits when she go to the mall and get some for my sister, and then she asked me if I want anything, and I say no. To the point where she would just buy it off GP. She didn't give a fuck if I wanted it or not. I already saw what she was going through. She was taking care of me and my sister by herself. And although she was married to my brother's dad, she was taking care of him by herself. So she was pretty much a single mother, married. A married single mother doing everything on her own, paying bills by herself, all that. So I didn't want to be the person that's asking her for every damn thing. Just make sure we got food in the refrigerator. I didn't give a fuck as long as I ate. I didn't care. You feel what I'm saying? Like I didn't care about any of that. So if my mama had the kind of money that Simone had, I would be the last to be asking my mama for any damn thing. The last. So that's just how I feel. But yeah, Cecil just got to show a little bit of appreciation. Cecil just got to show a little bit of unity in a sense. That's all that is. Let me see what else is going on. What else is going on at this particular moment, honey? What's next on my notes here? Where are my notes here? Okay, because they got knocked off. So now it's time for Heavenly's family reunion, y'all. Contessa not coming. And then she was talking to Dr. Damon and Zach, and she was saying, is your brother coming? Have you talked to your brother? And Zach said that he talked to his brother, but Heavenly ain't talked to him. And Damon said that he remembered how this family used to be so close, and it's very disheartening to know that they're in not that good of a place right now. And you know, it is what it is. I feel Dr. Damon on that. You know, it's probably hard for him to have to watch his family go up in flames the way that it has. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you know, my family was this, my family was that. You know, I feel like my family is close knit, and for my family to be in this predicament is not good. And it's not good for them, especially when they're used to like this big family unit. It's always disheartening when it's broken. Toya walks in already criticizing a damn event. Now, here's my thing. Heavenly is a bitch that'll criticize some shit too. But Toya, so far this season, is annoying. Oh, I already knew coming to a Heavenly event is gonna be a $2 air balloon, whatever the fuck she said. I'm like, Toya is irritating. Everything is about a look and a name and some money for her. She thinks she's bigger than the program sometimes, and she get on my nerves with a sandy cheeks looking ass. Steve was basically saying that he don't know who his daddy is, and at least he can find humor in that. To be honest, at least he can find a little bit of humor in not knowing who the hell the daddy is. I'm just saying. Quad brings the whole Memphis with her. Travis arrives with his family, and we see the mac and cheese contest, and we see that Ashton won, which I don't think he should have won, but whatever. Angel sitting outside talking to Dr. Bernard, and Toya is saying, "Who is Dr. Bernard?" And she was like, "Well, that's my close friend." And she said, "Are y'all fucking?" She said, "We used to date a long time ago." And then she says, "Well, do you know that I was going to hook her up?" And then Angel was like, "Toya just broke the entire girl code with this shit." And then, you know, she says that her and Dr. Bernard are trying to figure things out. That figure things out stage is a stage that is the most complicated stage in the world, honey. I can tell you that. When you trying to figure things out, it's so hard because you ain't with this nigga, but you love this nigga, but you ain't with him. And they're free to do whatever they like. So are you. And you just might do whatever you like just as well as he might do whatever he likes. But you don't like the fact that he's doing whatever he likes because that's who you want to be with. But you also have to understand that y'all are in the mode of, I'm trying to figure things out. We're trying to see if this is the right path for us. We're trying to figure this out. We're trying to see about it. We're trying to do, that is probably the worst time. Like, that figure things out part is so complicated. Everybody got questions. Is that your man or y'all? No, that's not my man. Well, don't y'all talk? Yes, we talk. Well, if y'all talk, then why he doing? Because he can. He's single. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. I'm single too. I can do whatever the fuck I want to. But I know where I want to be. So I'm going to sit here and wait and see where it's going to be. I can sit out here and play with these niggas all day, but I'm not going to go too far. I can entertain these niggas all day, but I'm not going to go too far because I need to know what this is going to be. And then when you finally realize what it is, then everything is full circle. Angel, I understand where you coming from. Been there. Okay. Shout out to Angel and Dr. Bernard. They do a line dance and it's over. So Quad gets some bad news from a doctor, basically saying that the embryos aren't going to take. And Quad feels like a failure. And King said that she's not a failure, but she still feels like she is. And King just kept it real and said this. Listen, I was fine with not having any more kids. But I did this because I wanted to make you happy. That's the realest that he could be. And she starts crying. But in the same breath, it's kind of like, what's really going on here? You know what I mean? Like, I get that you want to make somebody happy, but you got to make yourself happy too. And if having another kid was not on your bingo card, then I don't think you need to have another kid. You know, because it's really a disservice. It's not only a disservice to you, but it's also a disservice to Quad, in my opinion. I know people might not agree with me, but that's the way I look at it. I don't really think that it's a good idea to be in that predicament, honestly. She starts crying and she break down, giving her best Tyler Perry shit. And, you know, he basically was being honest with her. He really wasn't, that hyped up about having another kid. He really sat there and was trying to make her happy. He didn't know that it was going to come out of pocket like that and all that. And, you know, she ain't like that, but he was just being honest with her. That's just the truth here. Sometimes you got to understand and you got to accept the cold-hearted truth. You feel what I'm saying? And that was just it. So that was the episode. I mean, it was all right. It really wasn't nothing to really dive into like that, but I was able to get 100 of y'all up in here. So that's it. That's all I can say about that. This is the only video y'all getting to. Well, y'all might get a live tonight. It just depends on how I feel after the whether you like my panel. Like if I'm not too tired after that panel, then I could give you guys another live. It could either be a story time or it could be more coverage on the Keisha Cole stuff. So we're gonna see. We're going to see how I go. But anyway, you guys, that's pretty much it. I will see you guys on the panel tonight. The link for the panel is in the, it's on the community wall. So make sure you guys go to the community wall, go set your reminders and all that good jazz. I'm out of here and I'll talk to you guys then.
That 20, yeah, you always been a sneaky bitch, hating from the sidelines, trying to get picked, yeah. You don't found one, yeah, you don't found one. You don't found one, found you a real one. On my assets lately, you catching face shots, fire catching babies. Heavy on the highs, better get you some gravy. Cut that lady check, why you out here being lazy? I got bored with that season, I'm talking shit when I'm spitting. Fact, the bitch, I'm the reason. When it got you hoes heated. Snow got them hoes sneezing, got the meals you not eating. Where had them hoes leaking, God trust when I'm speaking. It's giving.
Big bands gon' make it hot. Real niggas gonna come up. Don't let the game gon' change us. Real niggas in my circle, ho. Don't ever play us. This the real hustle. We make the money, don't make it make us. They ain't bout shit. Talking out they neck. Bitch, we bring the heat every time we step. You fucking with a beast. Fucking with the best. Get money on the east. Plug on the west. Bitch, I'm from the north. But we run this out. Bitch, we outside. What you talking about? Who the fuck is me? No, who the fuck is you? Get these niggas.